Came on. My name is Dr. Dara Rampersad, and I am the proud owner and operator of BluePaz First Responder Services. I want to show a few slides before just to show some common things that first responders really have affect them on the job. These are very hard slides to look at, so if you prefer not to see it, that's perfectly fine. Just feel free to glance away for a few minutes. But I want to show these because I think that it's important for us to pay attention to some of these common types of issues that we run on. And let me see if I could pull this up almost hopefully seamlessly here for us. Hopefully you could see that. All right, as we go through here, my computer is going to think this has happened once before. You guys had a chance to hear Lindsay's story last week, and you may recognize this gentleman here. That was Nate, and this is part of his crew that he was with, for quite some time at Sun Lakes before changing over to AFMA. But these are, folks that we miss in our careers, in our lives, the people who have fallen, that we've lost, who were very close to us in our careers. That impacts us on our job. We talked about what happened last week with 9/11 and the impact that Rob brought to the forefront, and him being there in his cell tower, personal experiences that people go through, and then loved ones and other people that have moved across the country that experienced and were part of this directly. We have horrific scenes that we roll on that we can't explain to people in our families, that we try to help somebody and to be able to describe, and sometimes you don't even want to talk about the horrific things that you see. In a lot of circumstances where you are able to help, there's often plight, and these things build on our souls like calluses over time. We have this hero who has been shot, and we just saw two of these exact same incidents happen in Compton this last week, and how people have a will and a power to survive, no matter if they've just come out of the academy and they're 1 year into their job, or they're a more seasoned veteran in the job. We have accidents that happen from first responders that respond to scenes where they're supposed to help and to save people, but yet still they themselves become the victim of either crime or of damage, and sometimes in unfortunate circumstances end up taking lives when they themselves were trying to protect life. We have people who save babies on a constant basis from drownings and from other traumatic events and circumstances, and they themselves have kids at home that they are trying to take care of. We all know what that feels like, and we come home and we give our kids and our spouses extra hugs and love. We have friends like Crystal Rosanico who have passed and they died on the job, being hit in an accident and having been ejected from trucks, but yet still trying to serve. We have traumatic events like these things that occur where Dallas happens, and we run on circumstances that are way outside of what we thought were possible in communities. We have things like Vegas that have happened throughout the course of the past 10 years in our lifetime here that cause traumatic responses for people who are just going to concerts and trying to have a fun time with friends. All of these things put us in a really unique position, that the trauma that we experience, which you'll hear more about later on our trauma behind the badge segment, but things that Sean will get into here too, because he's been exposed to quite a lot of things on his job. And so I want us to be able to have a conversation about this. Feel free to type in your questions and comments as well as your chats. But this is why we do this. We need to be able to figure out, when we have or are exposed to trauma, how do we help ourselves to recover?